Hello, everyone. Welcome to what I'm not kidding here. This might be like one of my favorite games of all time. This is Rayman Origins. This game's great. I love this game.
High bar, like all time.
I would play this game over any Sonic game, 2D or 3D, and over
Well, that's a low bar.
and over any 2D Mario, any Mega Man, any Castlevania. It's probably my favorite. See, look, they sing at you when you change menus. It's perfect. This game's perfect.
I'm gonna be one of those guys that says I think Origins of Legends is better than Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. There, I said it.
I mean, yeah, it is. It is.
Tropical Freeze is pretty hard to compete with. It was a really well designed game. The only problem was that it was a Wii U exclusive for a while. Yeah. None
of this
the
means
earlier
anything to me.
ports to Switch, if I remember. So a lot of people had a chance to experience that on the Switch. That's good. I will say, I get where Ted is coming from with this game. Not having played it myself, I've seen a lot of it, and it's bursting with charm.
I mean, you played Legends with us, and it's the same engine, same gameplay style. So
it's not completely the same, but it's very, very close. And I didn't get a chance to enjoy Legends because we were playing multiplayer when we did that, and
so you didn't like having us around? Thanks.
Honestly, here's the thing though. Legends, I think, is a better game multiplayer than single player.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't really matter for me how good a platformer is at multiplayer. I just have trouble focusing on everything that's going on, and I can't play.
You can't take time to breathe in a multiplayer segment.
Yeah.
It's very chaotic, and not everyone's always about that.
If we're barreling through in multiplayer, I also don't get a chance to enjoy all the artistic fun that these games bring to the table. So that's the thing.
Look at the honestly, this game definitely has much better.
This game is pure
framing than I guess is the best way to put it than Legends. I know that it's a minor thing for a game like this, where the main appeal is definitely the gameplay, and the framing and the story doesn't really matter. But with that said, having any kind of story and any kind of real sense of progression, I think matters a lot, as opposed to just having one hub world where there's paintings. It's just not as cohesive, and it doesn't feel as real to me.
For a game like Rayman Origins, which is explicitly trying to go back to, I suppose, what Rayman 1 was going for, having that kind of narrative framing and that kind of humorous yet artsy attitude, that's basically what Rayman 1 was trying to do.
Yeah, it is funny though, because this game plays nothing really like Rayman 1, except for the fact that they are both 2D platformers.
Well, that's for the better, because Rayman 1 is a very old 2D sprite-based platformer. Despite being released on the PlayStation 1, it's not a very smooth ride. The fans had to literally remake the game almost from the ground up to make it fun. So
you should play Rayman Redemption.
Rayman 1 at a glance. Yeah, I was going to say Rayman 1 at a glance, and I'm speaking as someone who's only played a bit of the first game and never finished it because I didn't like what I was playing. That game, being a 2D platform for the PlayStation, seemed more busy with its aesthetic and graphics than it was on its gameplay, which, to the game's credit, it is a beautiful
Rayman 1
2D
is basically
game.
just a prettier Gex 1 overall.
Damn.
So, I mean...
It's you can get in... Here's the thing about Rayman 1. The first two worlds aren't bad. They're fun. They're a little slow. It's more once you get to the art world, especially, the level design just becomes absolutely dickish. And it's one of those things where you have to find every single thing in order to actually beat the game, which further exemplifies how dickish the level design is. And on top of that, it's just beating the level normally is hard enough, and trying to find some of those secrets is some of the most obtuse stuff you've ever thought of. You have to actually jump over every empty pixel, and you have no indication that you're supposed to do that. It's just...
And then they put it on the Game Boy Advance's tiny screen with no backlight.
Oh god, have you ever tried to do the Bandland level where you have to jump back and forth Oh,
Ted, I had Rayman Advance.
I had it too, but like, did you ever like beat
Yes,
it?
I did beat it.
Oh
I did-
my god.
yeah, I beat Mr. Dark on Rayman.
Did you
Advance,
enjoy
no.
it?
That's how you know that you're in gaming for entirely the wrong reasons.
It also came out when I was like 11 and I didn't have my own disposable income, so whatever game you got, you
I
had to
know.
play.
I know.
It was also a launch title for the GBA, and I mean, props to like picking a thing that can show off how graphically superior the GBA was compared to the other handhelds at the time. Rayman's a good point there.
Yeah, but
But
the
other
GBA
than
also had
that-
Golden Sun, and you're better off with that, even if you
Golden
don't like
Sun was
RPGs.
later, but
even
yes.
if you don't
Yeah.
like RPGs, you're better off with Golden Sun than you are with.
I want
Rayman.
to say the first two games I got on Game Boy Advance were Rayman and F-Zero.
Mine was Rayman and Mario Advance. There was also F-Zero. One of the Castlevanias was also a
Circle
launch
of the
title.
Moon, I think it was.
Maybe, I don't
Yeah,
know. though.
it was Circle of the Moon, and I want to say Metroid Fusion.
No,
Fusion
Metroid
was
Fusion
2002.
wasn't a launch title. Yeah.
No, but I didn't get a Game Boy Advance at
Oh,
launch
okay.
though.
Well, I didn't get
Yeah.
it at launch. I think I got it that holiday.
The other
Yeah.
the other thought I have regarding like Rayman Origins and Legends as a general thing though is that like after this game came out, it is like pretty much killed all hope of ever getting another 3D Rayman, and having played Rayman 2 in the time since then, I kind of really feel for 3D Rayman fans.
Well, but between this and Ubisoft's general mistreatment of the entire franchise and all the crap they're going on now, I don't expect to see Rayman pretty much ever again.
Yeah,
So
Sadly to
here's
say.
the thing. We were talking about this a little bit with Ant in our Kirby 64 commentary. Ubisoft sucks.
They do.
They are just actively a bad company in every way, shape, and form.
It's like another Bethesda situation. The company is terrible, but you just can't get enough of certain game franchises they have.
yeah,
so you
they
kinda just,
hold several great franchises.
You kind of just grit your
hostage.
teeth and put up with it.
Yeah, but I mean, so the thing is, you have to kind of remember the history going forward right now. When it came to Rayman, this game came out 2011, I think. Maybe 2010. So right off the wake of like New Super Mario Brothers. Rayman's last big game was Rayman Raving Rabbids, which was a Wii launch title. Now, granted,
If that's not actually a Rayman game.
yeah, as a launch title mini game collection, where it's just meant to be a party game, Raving Rabbids 1 is actually not bad. It's certainly like not what Rayman fans really wanted, but like it's fine. And in the sense of
So you're saying it's Rayman Federation Force?
okay, Ray, you see, here's the thing: Federation Force is actually like
Okay.
a good game, whereas Rayman Rabbids is just kind of fine. Like I wouldn't even put it in my top 5 Wii minigame
Party games.
collections. So I mean, granted,
Not
there's,
even the top 5 minigame collections. Oh.
yeah, and I mean, like I would say it's like slightly better than Monkey Ball Banana Blitz on that front. But it's better than Mario Party 8, so there's that going for it. But anyway, the point is the Rabbids themselves are charming in the context of being an annoying villain for Rayman. Like they work there. As a hero, they are not as
They're proto minions. That's all they are.
yeah, so yeah, once the Rabbids started to take over Rayman, people like really wanted to see any kind of Rayman. And so that's why everybody was really happy to see Origins. Like 10 years, God, this game's like 11 years old now, Jesus. With that much time passed, I do agree it is sad that we probably will not be getting another 3D Rayman unless if they like reboot the franchise again.
mean-
and I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Well, I mean, the word on the street is now that with all the crap going on in the company and Ansel retiring, it's like they're looking to sell the company in general. Which
Sell all of
maybe,
Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So maybe under some new leadership, that could potentially be a thing.
That's
I would say it's
maybe,
it's
but
worth a
you know
shot.
what I'm
There's-
expecting? I'm expecting Bethesda to buy them, and then
No,
just
but
like,
Bethesda's already been bought by Microsoft, so
all right, then I'm expecting Microsoft to buy them. Basically, I'm expecting a big company I hate to buy them. You know?
My
Probably.
money is on EA.
Electronic Arts would be even worse. Okay.
Tencent. Fuck.
Well,
We're really not saying
Tencent
it.
would be the absolute
Electronic
worst possible option,
Arts
yes.
has a long and sordid history of buying franchises and utterly killing them.
Hey,
Yep.
what are you talking about? Sims fans are happier than ever right
They
about
didn't.
now.
They didn't buy
What
The
is
Sims,
what
did they?
what is all right?
They
so
bought
obviously
Maxis,
there's no
yeah.
best.
Oh.
I don't think there's a best case scenario in this particular case, but what would be like the least worst thing?
I mean, like,
For the
absolute,
Rayman
to buy
franchise.
all of Ubisoft or to just buy specific properties?
To buy specific properties.
I mean, like, pie in the sky, never gonna happen territory. Nintendo buys Rayman, or maybe Sega.
Maybe.
I could see Nintendo being at least involved, considering they've been doing work with them a lot lately, especially with all Mario and Rabbids. I don't think they would do it, but
No, Nintendo famously has never bought companies like this, or like if they have put in
No.
a bid, it's been famously cheap.
I think
Yes.
actually a positive outcome to that would be Square buying them, because
I could also see Square.
they have some Western properties and companies already, and they seem to be doing relatively well with them.
Yeah, but Square also, in the vein of platformers, have Balan Wonderworld attached to their name.
Oh, did
too.
you hear about, like, there's like a lawsuit about Balan Wonderworld right
Oh
now?
yeah, well, Yuji Naka's trying to sue Square for basically kicking him off the project because he wanted to make it better. Which I'm not sure I totally believe, but
Yeah. I was gonna say-
side-eyeing Yuji Naka pretty hard there, given his post-Sonic history not being amazing. But
yeah.
the thing about Square and Balan Wonderworld though is that like that's seriously an outlier, and it doesn't really connect to their
Yeah.
Western output, which is what I'm focused on. I'm looking at stuff like Eidos and Tomb Raider.
Yeah, like Square is normally known for everything that they release being extremely polished. So unless if it's,
But
a
that's
port
what I
on
mean.
PC,
Like
I guess,
that's what. But that's the reason why I bring up Balan specifically. Just simply over the fact that Rayman is a platforming series, and when people think if Square were to for some reason or another get the rights to Rayman and they were to start working on another game, there would be inevitable comparisons.
But
which is
the
why
thing I would
think
expect
it'd
them
be
to do
a
in that
struggle at
circumstance
first.
is like fold Ubisoft in with their other Western development studios, so it wouldn't be Square actually making the stuff. It would be the people that already work at Ubisoft and the people that already work at like Eidos and stuff. In fact, Eidos already has like studios in the same locations as Ubisoft, I think.
yeah, because Ubisoft's French. I don't know where Eidos is located.
I know
well,
there's
no,
Eidos
Ubisoft-
Montreal, so
yeah, Ubisoft has a Montreal studio. I think they have one other Canadian location. So Ubisoft is in a few different places. It's not just France.
yeah. So like if Square did get their hands on Ubisoft, and you know, it's Ubisoft, so I'm not going to be too like negative about the buyout because they're already corporate trash to begin with. So like, but like if Square did get their hands on Ubisoft, I think they're in a good position to make the most of Ubisoft, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And going back to your earlier point, Lewis, I think that there is a space for 2D and 3D Rayman, just like there's a space for 2D and 3D Mario.
Yeah.
You know,
Well-
like they honestly, I've only played like maybe like 3 hours or so of Rayman 2 at a friend's place. I don't have that much experience with it, but the vibe is very different than what they go for with the 2D Rayman games, the
Well,
new ones.
The vibe in Rayman 2 is pretty dark, but Rayman 3 is pretty zany.
Oh, I meant like the gameplay vibe, where
yeah.
it's not nearly as fast paced.
Well,
it's
Rayman
more
3 is
deliberate.
also Rayman 3 is also a lot more fast paced. But Rayman 3 is a bit weird in the curve
Yeah.
of like old Rayman games, but like they know that there's a market for 2D Rayman because they've re-released Rayman 2 like 17 times. So it's a little baffling to me that they haven't had another game in that style other than the game that came before Rayman 2, everyone's favorite game. What was it called though?
Rayman Arena.
Rayman 2.
No, it wasn't technically a Rayman game, but it had a character that was very like Rayman.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. It was an N64 game.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't remember the name.
I don't remember the name either.
I can picture it very vividly in my head, and
the ads were in magazines all over the place for that game. But the game itself is pretty rough, from what I know. Oh man, what's the name of the game? The only thing that's coming to mind is that I'm like 99.9% sure that Nitro Rad must have reviewed it at some point.
It's called Tonic
That's
Trouble.
it. That's
Yes.
it. Tonic Trouble. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. And it's like that's the only other.
I typed in N64 Rayman clone first result.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that like the character is a Rayman clone, but the gameplay actually came before Rayman 2. It's kind of a prototype for Rayman 2 in many ways.
Did the same team work on it?
I think so. It was definitely
Very similar art style to. It's funny, like this 1999 N64 game is rocking an art style very similar to this game, like close to 11 years prior.
You want to know? Let's also talk about how this game is goddamn beautiful.
It is.
I should note,
yeah.
We are playing on the Wii version, as you saw with Reckless Silhouette Guy in the Wii condom at the very start. The reason for that, my PS3 doesn't read discs anymore, and the PC version I have doesn't like it when I try to record it. So we're playing this version because it's stable.
Have you ever tried being completely redundant and running your PC's graphics output through an Elgato and back into your PC?
No, I have not.
It saves
I cannot say I've done that.
It saves so much of your system resources to do it that way.
I had to do that for Resident Evil 6 because recording the PC version, I think I had to do normal means. My computer was screaming.
Why didn't you just record the console version then?
Because I had some weird graphical texture issues.
Yes, I remember. You said something
on the
about
PS4 with Leon's hair. Leon's hair was it was partly green. It was going through a phase.
Oh man, his scene phase. Wow, I didn't know
suppose.
that.
Yeah.
I suppose this would be a behind-the-scenes tidbit, but John actually recorded some of the PS4 weirdness, but nowhere in his script did it ever come up, so I wound up not using that footage.
Yeah. I kind of forgot that I put that in the upload folder.
Yeah, but in any case, yeah, I love the way this game looks. It is absolutely gorgeous. I think I prefer the style that they went for here, where it looks more 2D hand-drawn. Rayman Legends looks more cel-shaded with how they altered the lighting and stuff like that, and there are some really cool effects there too. But I think I just like how natural this game looks a little bit more. I should say that I might sound like I'm shit-talking Legends throughout this commentary. I assure you that game is still very, very good. But after I recorded this game, like a month later, I went and I replayed Legends, and it's just, like, it's still great, but I just think that this game holds up a lot better.
Well, this game,
especially on your own.
This game isn't focused on the multiplayer aspect at all, is it?
No, there is multiplayer. Honestly, it makes the game like 10 times worse.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to.
Is like New Super Mario Brothers?
Trying to get at
is like New Super Mario Brothers.
A lot of this level design really only works in single player, or at least it becomes a much larger headache when you have other players involved.
Yeah. This game, especially when you get to the second half of the game, demands extremely precise platforming. I was trying to see if I could skip the animation. So yeah, this game demands extremely precise platforming, which is just kind of not possible in multiplayer.
You barely got that elect too.
Yeah, especially considering that one of the tricks that you need to learn early on is that if you are running and then hit attack and then jump during the attack, you get full momentum in your jump. And you need to do that to make certain jumps later in the game. But if you hit somebody, like there's friendly fire in this game, you don't get hurt, but you do get stunned. So you will like kill your friends on accident a lot if you're trying to play this game multiplayer.
No.
Rayman Legends is designed in such a way where that doesn't happen as much, but as a result, the levels I think are just not as fun to play on your own.
Yeah, so, the level design tends to go easier on you in general.
Yeah.